You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your discipline. This is Greg Swanson, and welcome to Warrior Mind Podcast number 722, where we're going to be talking about motivation versus discipline. And this is a subject that comes up very often in just normal conversations at the gym and hiking, but also in specifically with my clients. So what we have to understand is we don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your discipline. That is, when feelings aren't there, when the motivation isn't there, you're going to fall to whatever discipline you've created, right? And if you're tired of riding the emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, this episode will change the game for you. Today, we're unpacking the brutal truth behind the motivation versus discipline debate, and why one will build your empire and your physique, while the other keeps you stuck. This is going to be raw, real, and results driven. If you ever said, I just need to get motivated, oh, I just can't wait to get, I just need, then you need to watch this to the end and listen to this to the end, because motivation is the lie, and today we kill it. So grab your notebook, except if you're driving, and hit subscribe on the buttons, and let's rewire your mindset starting now. So why motivation versus discipline matters? We may think like, what does it matter? It's just I get in there, I do what I need to do. I need to make the sales phone calls, I need to get into the gym, I need to clean up the apartment, I need to get whatever the house, whatever it is. Why does this matter? Because most people rely on motivation, and that's why they fail. Discipline is what builds real momentum and real results. So the motivation trap, why it feels good but fails you, right? Motivation is reactive. Discipline is proactive. Motivation is external. Somebody's yelling at you. You're doing something for a reward. There's something external moving you. Discipline is often associated with inspiration. Inspiration is the energy that comes from in, but even sometimes if you don't feel inspired, you still have to fall back on discipline. Discipline is proactive, where motivation is reactive. Emotion-driven performers lead to inconsistency. If you don't make your sales calls because you don't feel like it, you're in a bad mood, you're going to be inconsistent. If you go to the gym only when you're excited, you're going to have inconsistent results. Anything you do, when you base it on motivation, it's going to be inconsistent. Most people fail because they wait to be inspired. They wait for some external event, person, place to get them inspired. Oh, I'm going to set this goal, and they put vision boards up. Hey, that's great. But then you need to build the discipline to go after them. But if you sit down and, oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, I'll be motivated tomorrow, you're going to fail. Motivation can get you going, but discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline is the real mental muscle, right? Discipline builds predictability, identity, and mental toughness. When you're disciplined, you know who you are. You are a disciplined salesperson. You are a disciplined athlete. You are a disciplined leader. Though that builds predictability, and people go, well, I don't want to be predictable. Well, maybe some things you do want to be predictable, because you want to know that every day at the gym, 4 o'clock, you can predict I will be there because I am disciplined with that. And so we want to have that. That's the mental toughness, because anybody can say, I'll do it tomorrow. Anybody can say, I'll wait till I get motivated. But it takes the mentally tough, the mentally strong to go, the feelings don't matter when the dream is big enough. And so incorporating daily rituals, right? Breath work, cold exposure, whether it's to a shower, a dunk tank, cryotherapy, or morning journaling. This is some of the ways to build that discipline, right? Small wins compound into massive results. From external hype to internal identity, right? Identity-based habits shift your self-image. If you say, I'm the type of person that goes to the gym all the time, regularly, 5 days a week. I'm the type of person that always does this. I'm the type that builds your identity, that builds your self-image, because when you say you're going to do something, you believe it. Let me tell you, if you'll rely on motivation and you say you're going to do something, you'll probably fail or not do it better than 60% of the time. And if you had a friend that did that to you, you'd leave them. But it's okay for you. So the more we build this discipline, the more we follow through on what we say we're going to do, the more our self-image improves and the more we trust ourselves. Right? Become the man or woman who trains, shows up, and does the reps no matter what. Obviously, we're talking about the gym, but you could show up to make the sales calls, show up to do the medical billings, show up to do the call center. It doesn't matter. You train, you show up, you do the reps. Stop negotiating with your excuses. Right? Excuses only satisfy those who make them. They don't satisfy anybody else. And those excuses you're making is a lie. It's a lie because motivation has failed you. When you embrace discipline and start going and have that discipline, I'm the type of person that does this, then you're going to take off. So here's a quick table, right? The trigger for motivation is emotion is high, and the trigger for discipline is identity and values. And the longevity of it is short-lived. Motivation is short-lived. A quick spurt and they move on. But discipline is sustained over hours, weeks, days, months, decades. And reaction to stress, if you're relying on motivation, is avoid or delay action. And then with discipline, in reaction to stress, you act despite resistance. You act in spite of that. And the reward for motivation is you want to have instant gratification, where discipline is long-term fulfillment. So here's a table. You can see where these things line up and why discipline is much more effective than motivation. So how to build discipline, even if you don't feel like it, right? Anchor your identity to action. I am a person who does hard things. I'm the person who does the hard things first. I'm the person who finishes every rep. I'm the person that makes 50 calls a day. I'm the person that sends out 50 bills a day. Whatever it is, that's your identity. That's the discipline. Design non-negotiables into your day. Morning workouts, journaling. Wake up. This is where I really work a lot of my clients doing an AM routine, PM, work, and sleep. But the AM, right, we do something physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And that's the discipline. You wake up and you do it every day because it will help you in the long run. So whether it's a workout, a journaling, hydration, something, it does not include watching the news, watching TikTok, watching social media. Those are not part of your discipline. That's part of your dopamine rush. Use neuro-linguistic programming anchor techniques when resistance shows up. There's great ones. I use it. There's called the circle of power, and you can look it up and develop it yourself. But when you are motivated or have that energy, then you want to anchor it. So when you don't feel it, you can release the anchor, have the discipline kick in, and take action. Build streaks and gamify consistency. I know with a lot of folks who are working out and nutrition, I ask them to do on a calendar, do one angled line for the workout, one angled line for nutrition. When they see it, there's an X, and the goal is to get 30 X's on that calendar. And it's a really simple way, but it builds discipline because you get on a streak of 7, 10, 11 days, you go, oh, I'm going to keep it going. So here's some final thoughts, right? So here's the line in the sand. You need to draw that line and say no more. Are you still chasing the high of motivation? Are you ready to train the muscle of discipline? Because in the showdown of motivation versus discipline, only one builds warriors. For the next 7 days, pick one thing and do it daily. no matter what. And I would challenge you to push yourself. Do hard things. Do that thing that's hard to do. Wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and meditate. Wake up at 4 o'clock and journal. Wake up at 3:30 and go to the gym. Something, and do it for 7 days. Then book a bulletproof call with myself and let's build your mental edge. You don't need more hype. You don't need more firepower. You don't need more Red Bull. You just need discipline, is how warriors are made. If you want to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're over there, you can find more useful information in the form of blog posts and other podcasts, as well as how to request your breakthrough session. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all under Warrior Mind Coach.